hello there, everybody. Welcome. Hello there, Denise, Gary Spike Sr., Gene Hudson. Welcome, everybody. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, this edition is brought to you by USCCA. Are you breaking your state guns laws? If you do not know, or the other state that's reciprocal to you, please make sure and check out the link in the description or in the comment section. It's free. If you have a loved one that's into firearms or laws, make sure and give them the message too. Make sure it's free, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. How you doing, Angela?
Doing great tonight. How are you?
Wonderful. Thank you. Interesting night. So, let's see here. There we go. So what are you up to? What have you been up to?
I'm been extremely busy. I went to a psychic fair and did live readings. Of course, paint spirit portraits for people who sit for me. And got a lot of confirmation for people, for every single person that sat down with me. It was a wonderful, wonderful experience. And I love when the spirits come in with a little bit of sense of humor too, and joke around with people. And that's always a lot of fun. And it was a great time. It was a great time. It was busy and it was wonderful. And I picked up another room set. I was there from a fellow vendor. So wooden rooms, so they're bigger and easier to see.
That's interesting. Awesome. Welcome, everybody. A round of applause. Kathy A., Penny Van, and everybody. Nice to see you. And the woo. Thank you. So interesting. Anything special going on or that happened since last time we spoke?
Sure. When I was at the Lafayette Hotel, this is where this took place at. The Lafayette Hotel is the oldest hotel in Marietta, and it is a haunted place. So I was sitting there and doing portraits for people, and there was a spirit standing next to me, looking over my shoulder so strongly. It was as if there's a living person. And I could see the spirit out of my peripheral vision. I could see every detail of his clothing, who he was. I turn around and look, he's not there when I look at him straight on, but I could still see him in peripheral vision when I go back to work.
Oh, wow.
He was looks like he was wearing clothing from the 1930s.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Was he just checking everything out and just visiting, or?
Yeah, just checking everything out. I feel like he belongs to the hotel, and I got the impression that his occupation was farming, and he stayed in town every once in a while, and he was selling his goods. So he'd have to come into town to get his farm goods loaded up and transferred out. So he would stay at the hotel there.
Hotel holds many energies.
Mm-hmm.
Happy, sad, depressed. People take their lives there. A lot of bad things can happen at hotels and motels. What's the difference between a hotel and a motel? Hotel's attached, motel's separate, right? Or is it vice versa? Always getting confused. So,
but also weddings take place there too. I mean, people go on their honeymoon.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Welcome, Kyle Smith. Nice to see you. Rebecca. I guess Rebecca's got the tow truck on hand. So, yes. So we got a couple of field trips. We got 3 field trips in April coming up. One in the beginning, one in the end, one in the middle. So I'll be busy in April. So it'll be interesting. We'll probably do some live shows on the road. So, yeah. So what is everybody's flavor tonight? What is everybody up to? So, we talked about shrinkflation, right? How everything shrinking and still the same cost, right? Mm-hmm. So a lady called out Oreo cookies and said the Oreo cookies shrunk 6%. And nobody believed her. So the news media contacted Oreos and confronted them. And they're like, we don't know what you're talking about. Well, they finally admitted today that, yes, they did shrink the Oreo 6%. Isn't that awful?
That is awful.
So, I don't know what we're going to do. That's for sure. Everybody say hello, Angela. Hello, Midwest Night Watchers. Nice to see you.
Hi, Rebecca.
So what are you in the mood to do tonight? I'm open to anything.
I'm interested in doing some room readings for people. And maybe we should talk about how to get in touch with your spirit guides.
How do you?
For me, they're around me all the time. I can feel them and I hear them and I see them. And the more relaxed I am, the more they communicate easily to me and they get messages through to me. And I pay attention. I look around and see if I hear them or see them. A lot of times they'll give me numbers and they'll give me signs, they'll give me images, and I'll be in my dream state and I will get messages from my dream. And there's ones that I recognize in my dreams, and they'll talk to me one-on-one and meet with me, and we have great conversations, and it's a wonderful way to connect with them as well. I do also not just use my abilities, but I do use a parabox and an S box at times. And my guides come through very clearly on both of those. I like the parabox a little better because the parabox, it eliminates the radio stations. So you're not getting that. You're getting the just pure voices or whatever sounds are coming up. And sometimes there's not voices coming through. Sometimes there'll be a sound of machinery or insects or something like that coming through. And one time I asked in the parabox, I say, can you make the sound of a heartbeat through my headphones? And not even a minute later, I got dun 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 dun, dun heartbeat sound in my earphones.
Interesting.
Yes.
It is.
And also the runes will communicate that way. And I also look to the sky to see what the universe is communicating. And I saw runes written in the sky on my way home from the Lafayette Hotel.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
So when you see stuff like this, what comes to your mind? Is it like, oh, interesting or far out, or what do you think?
I think, I'm blessed. I'm blessed that I get this type of communication.
Interesting. And I got the tow truck on standby. Standing Stones lost his internet connection. Glad you made it. So I'll take a rune reading. That's fine. We'll start with me.
All right.
Hi, Norma. Welcome, Norma. Nice to have you on the show.
Okay. I'm going to try these wooden runes first time. So this is the rune Ing was. This, I feel like you're very protective. This is the male protector. This is Ingwas, the god Ing, protector of the household. They had a place called an Inglenook in their homes that honored this god. So he's one of protection, one of the household, one who lays down the law. There's a lot of law association I'm getting off of this too, like laying down the rules, setting boundaries, but healthy boundaries. It feels very protective. Okay, next rune. So this is I was, and this represents death and regeneration. And what I'm picking up from this is that you're in the regeneration process. It feels like you've come out of something health-wise, and you're in the healing stage of it.
Right.
Okay, see what the last rune says. Dagaz. So Dagaz is enlightenment. This is also awareness of the dark, of shadow and daylight. It feels like to me that you're coming into greater psychic abilities and awareness. And you have this heightened awareness of the light and the dark.
Interesting. Joanne Stewart's asking, Angela, can you tell me who my spirit guides are?
Okay. And Denise, who is she saying that she's asking who her spirit guides are?
Joanne.
Oh, Joanne. Okay. As far as your spirit guides, animal that comes through, I'm getting an impression right away. There is a bird with you, an animal spirit guide. It's a small bird. It looks like, to me, it looks like it's a nightjar. So a nightjar is a nocturnal bird, has very large eyes, and eats insects. So you might want to study that bird because this animal is a spirit guide. This is what they call a spirit animal who is with you. And this spirit animal is relaying a message of being able to see and sense things that feels impossible, feels like you are in the dark on certain matters and you're trying to feel things out. But if you meditate in the nightjar and understand its abilities and its gifts for you and its messages for you, it will help you through your situations. And that's the first one I get. Now, you may have many more, but to find out many more, you might want to keep a dream journal, because ask before you go to bed, I want to hear from my guides. Make sure you have your journal next to you, and then wake up. And whatever you remember, even if it's just a feeling or a color or numbers, if that's all you remember, write it down. And then the communication is going to be much clearer for you. But there's a nightjar with you.
Interesting. All right. The next one. Denise, how do I know who my spirit guides are? That was
So
from
this is what I
Denise.
suggested with the dream journal. How you know who your spirit guides are. See, let them introduce themselves in your dreams. And also when you're in meditation, take that time to meditate, take that deep breath, clear your mind, and do a lot of deep breathing. And with the attention that you want to know who your guides are. And then at the end of your meditation, write down whatever impressions you got. And you might even be able to feel the presence of your guides. You may feel a change in energy around you in your meditations when you set the attention. I'm open to my guides and I want to hear what those are. Whether that be an animal spirit, whether that be, some people even have plant spirits around them as guides, angels, a loved one that's passed, or it may not be anybody that you know in particular. There could be somebody that has passed that has chosen you to help and with their expertise, whatever path in life that you've chosen. They may have a similar path or a similar lesson that they had to learn, and they know you're going through it, so they're going to help guide you through it. So that's another way you can establish guides. You can also ask for signs in your meditation from the universe, who your guides are. They could be symbols that might give you clues, so be sure to pay attention.
Rebecca, Angela, do you have a favorite of all the portraits you have done?
Oh my goodness, do I have a favorite? I mean, it's really hard to say any particular favorite portrait that I've done. They're one of my 15-minute portraits where I'm just sitting there and I channeled this woman's spirit horse that came through. And that was really cool because this horse was very powerful and in the dark and was a war horse. It kind of depicted, it was a black horse, had white glowing eyes, and had lightning all around it. And I did that less than 15 minutes because it was so strong. I was just channeling it. That's probably my favorite of maybe the 15-minute type portraits I've done. And the other portrait I really like doing, there's one I did of King Diamond. I did recently with lightning in the background. There's blue flames behind him, and he has chains around him. He's wearing his hat and he's got his face paint on. So that one I really enjoyed. And I actually had made quite a few friends because that portrait, other King Diamond fans just went crazy over it. And I ended up being the admin on a King Diamond fan page.
Interesting. So Brandon Cooper's Indian name is Squatting Eagle. So that means he's too full of poo-poo to fly. Brandon wants a, he's like, what? Brandon wants a rune reading, please.
All right. I'm a member of the Chickamauga tribe, and my tribal name is Little Fox.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So remember that, Brandon, squatting eagle.
Squatting eagle. Okay, Brandon, let's do your rune reading. We'll do wooden runes. Okay, so this one. This is Ewas, so this means a journey. I do get impression that you are traveling. It just feels like you're about to go on a trip. It feels business related though. And next one, I got Ing again. So I'm just being told to just be on your guard on your journey. Make sure that you look out for yourself and keep yourself safe. But it does mean protection. So if you want to evoke this rune to help with that protection, you could just look up the rune Ingwas, which is I-N-G as in green, Ing, yeah, then W-A-Z. So I-N-G-W-A-Z. And you can actually look up what's called a Gallagher song, enchanted, and just picture the rune in red on you and ask for its energy to protect you. And the last rune I have, this is Manaz. So Manaz is the rune of humanity, but it's also intellect. I feel like you're going to be intellectually challenged, and it feels career related.
Brandon says, I leave next week. Norma, I got you down. So the next one's in line. Liana, Susan, Nilda, Kyle, and Norma. So next up on the chopping block, Leanna. I'll take a rune reading, please.
Sure. All right, wooden rune. So this is Dagaz, and Dagaz means enlightenment. It's also the light and the shadow, and it's the highest point of the sun and the sky is what it's supposed to represent. I'm getting the impression that you're actually going out of your way to seek some kind of enlightenment. You just like you made a conscious decision, like I'm going to go after enlightenment. And the next rune I bring up here for you, and I love these wooden runes. You can see the wood from the tree, and very cool. Okay, so this is Helgelas. So Helgelas can mean transformation. It can be interference, but it's supposed to represent the hailstone. What I'm getting is transformation off of this. It feels like everything in your perspective is going to be turned around. And you're going to have a completely different perspective. And if you need help with this type of journey and you want that different perspective, you want that transformation, you can look up the Helgelas rune and chant the Gandor song and picture this in red and ask for its help, for its invocation there. Next rune. Again, I have Manas, which is man, but this is also the Bifrost Bridge. It's the bridge from our world to the world of spirit as well. I'm getting the impression that you're going to be more grounded after this. And it's more of rooting yourself in the earth, but with a clearer mind afterwards.
Interesting. Next up, Susan. Like a rune reading.
Susan. Okay. Do a rune reading. Well, the first rune's blank. I'll leave that out. And the first rune I get, Kenaz. So Kenaz is the light. And this is the light, our inner guide, our inner self, our intuition. And I'm just being told, follow your inner light. I'm being told to tell you, follow your inner light. It's there. You have a light within that you need to follow guidance. Okay. And next rune I got is Gabo. Gabo is gift. It represents the gift or exchange of energies. But what I'm getting from this is Trust that what you've been given is a gift. You've been given a light, and use it and trust it. Last rune I got, this is Berkana. It represents the mother goddess. And this is maternal protection. And understand that this light that is within you is protecting you also, but it is a gift. You've been given a great gift. There's a great treasure inside you. Look to that light and look into the light and see all the gifts that this light is bringing you.
Interesting. All right, here, let me click that. There we go. And next up is Nilda.
Nilda, thank you. Do another rune reading here. First rune I get, Nilda. This is Tidewe. It represents victory. It can represent an oath. This is Tears rune, and it also points north for guidance. I'm really getting an impression that you have this warrior personality. You're somebody that will not allow anything to stand in your way on the path towards your goal and towards victory. It's like you're a fighter. You fight for what you want, and nothing's going to be in your way. You're determined to get it one way or the other. This is Othala. Othala is the rune of prosperity, but also family, DNA, inheritance. It feels like to me that you're near oneness. So this also represents oneness with what they call the Orlog. But this is the what you might want to call the universe. It's sort of the Viking concept of oneness, of this great awareness. It feels like you're making a good connection with this, that you have the ability to do this. I also get the sense that this is in your blood also. It's like this is something that's been passed down in your family. And also there's a sense of honor as well. That has been passed down in your family. And it's an honor about a family history of people who are very tough, very formidable, and been through hard times and always have proven themselves to be strong and incredible, amazing people that overcome the worst type of setbacks. The next rune I got is Iwas. So Iwas, again, meaning journey. It feels like you are continuing on a journey. If this is more of a personal journey for you, it feels like to me that you're looking for something, like you're looking for something more satisfying, and that you're on this journey. I do get the impression that that you like this journey, that this is something that you want to do, that you want to embark on. And I get a sense that you're seeking some sort of adventure as well. It feels very enriching. It feels very positive.
All right. Next up, Kyle Smith.
Hey, Kyle. Got a rune reading for you. Clean back in. So Kyle, I got the same rune Tidewe. It feels like for me, it feels like your energy has been slowed down a bit, that you feel kind of sluggish and like blocked, and you're trying to get through it. This rune is telling you to look to a higher power for that. It feels like you need some sort of refreshing energy, some revitalization, like your energy, something like you're exhausted and kind of worn down and you need more energy. Tidewe is great for that. Again, you can just chant the Tidewe rune. You can actually look up Tidewe, Tiwaz, and visualize it in red and ask for its energy to help you. But it does single out your goals for like a single purpose, and be sure to look towards heaven. This is actually pointing towards heaven. And it's also saying something about the oath. Very important about keeping your promises, staying true to who you are is what the feeling I'm getting from this. Stay true to who you are and don't let anybody try to dissuade you that you need some other path or should be somewhere else. You should stay true to yourself. Next rune, and for you, Degas. So Degas is the rune of enlightenment. This is also the light and the dark and the balance between those and the height of the sun. Again, I feel like you're going to break through this, and it's going to be a wonderful experience if we're going to break through that sluggishness and look to above. So this may take this time to use a lot of meditation, a lot of searching, but it's also saying call in the light for yourself, the light from above. So since Tiwas is telling you to look towards heaven, call in the light from heaven down for yourself to help and guide you. And Manas, the rune of intellect, the rune of the Bifrost Bridge from our realm to the spirit realm. And I feel like things work out so well for you. It's just like everything just runs smoothly. Like you don't have to worry about crossing bridges in life. It's like you have that support there. It's going to go very well for you.
Interesting. Next up is Norma.
Norma. Okay, Norma, let's see what we got. All right. First rune I have is Isa. It's actually where we get the word ice from in English. This is glacier ice. This is massive ice. When I see this rune, it usually means pause. It feels like to me, and I'm getting the sense of a lot of pressure, because I even feel pressure on my head when I pick up on your energy. It's like headache pressure. And it feels busy, and it feels overworked, and it feels stressed. And this rune is telling me to please pause. Take a pause for yourself. You need it. You need to rest. This rune is actually calling out to you to rest. So create a sanctuary for yourself. You can create a sanctuary in your own home, just a space. If you can just take 10 or 15 minutes a day to just clear your mind and breathe. And if I were you, I would just clear my mind completely. Don't get caught up in any thoughts. If any thoughts bother you and you've got this kind of what they call monkey brain, where thoughts just run around in circles in your head and they just bounce from one thought to another, you can hum really loudly and hum where you're feeling it in your body, and that will help stop that and bring you back down, and then resume your breathing and your meditation. You should be able to concentrate better for your meditation. Next rune I get is caution. Okay, so this is Thorisos. It means caution. It's the thorn. Be careful. I get the sense that you are living on the edge. It's like you're living on the edge where the stress is too much, and it's about your breaking point. Be very, very careful. And last rune for you, Ewas. But here I get the sense that in this situation, meditating and taking the initiative for seeking some sort of shamanic journey or spirit guide assistance is greatly needed here and would greatly assist you. So your spirit guides can help you in this, and you can actually ask them to come take you on a journey either in your dreams or in your meditation to really help you and to really get you to a place of healing rather than feeling stressed and overburdened.
Interesting. Next up, Julianne.
Julianne. And Jean has got some great advice in there. If your brain is running like that, you can brain dump on paper, no order, no specific way of writing, and just write everything down. Can be all over the place, but on paper. That's a great idea. That's great. That works too. Okay, Julianne. Okay, so I get Iwas. So Iwas is death and regeneration. It feels like you're going through a change right now. It feels like to me like something, when I initially pulled this up, it felt like something was coming to an end and something new was beginning. And it's just starting to grow. That you close the door on something, you open something else, and now this project is starting to start growing. You're starting to see it's prospering. And Tiwas, victory. And I see victory all around you, but I'm seeing flowers all around you. So that would indicate that there's celebration coming for some type of victory, some type of accomplishment, something that's unique to you that you started and set into motion, that you see it prosper. Right? And this is Ansus. So Ansus is speaking, it's channeling, it's a way with words, it's a power of words, and it's also wisdom. I'm getting the impression that you are a wiser person, that you feel wiser after this, and you've, because of this achievement, and you're just so much more confident, and you hold yourself more confidently and greater high esteem, because what you accomplished, you actually sent something in motion that worked out for you.
Interesting. Next up, audio.
Audio. You want to try runes? Okay. Well, these runes are nice and big. Nice to see too. Ewas again. Journey. This is usually a partnership, but I feel like you're traveling through life solo. Like, you don't want it. I don't know if you don't want anybody involved. It just feels like you are choosing your own path, forging ahead on your own. And next, Thorasas. Again, this is the rune. I'm getting the sense that you really need to establish boundaries. I'm being heard. Establish boundaries for yourself. If you're forging ahead on your own and you don't want people to interfere, make sure you set firm boundaries for yourself. You don't want somebody trying to encroach on you and trying to ruin your journey or try to take something from you that you need on your journey. So I'm getting, you need to set firm boundaries, set firm rules for people. And this one, this is Urus. So Urus is strength. Well, I got you is that you have great strength, but you also are going to need it for this journey. So I suggest in your meditation, focusing on channeling this rune and asking this rune to help you. You can just, every rune has a Galdor song, which is a chant. There's also a runic yoga that you can change the shape of your body, or take a pose like regular yoga, only it incorporates the shape of the runes and ask for its energy to come through, that you really need that strength. So feel that strength coming through, feel the strength of your conviction coming through, and certainly do what you have to do to recharge so you can maintain that strength.
Interesting. Next up, Prospecting USA.
Yay! Yeah, Prospecting USA. Let's see what's going on. I love the name. It's really cool. I love the name, Prospecting USA. It sounds like you're a gem hunter.
Right?
Yeah. Okay. I get Degas. This is the rune of enlightenment. It's also the height of the sun. And I'm getting a sense of tremendous beauty. It's like you're looking at an overall picture of your life and how your life wants to be, and you want everything to be kind of perfect, everything in its place, neat, organized, and shiny and wonderful. It's like you have a vision of what you want, is what I'm getting out of that room. And Seuss again. So this is wisdom. The rune is actually saying that this represents that you need to take care when you're pursuing your vision and you're trying to make it happen, that you act wisely and not impulsively. So make sure that you temper every decision with wisdom. Please don't act impulsively. Keep your mouth shut, observe, and act and make your decisions with wisdom. I got you hold back and observe, learn from observation from others as well, as opposed to speaking so much. Not being rude or anything like that, but sometimes the rooms can be a little blunt. So, on that matter, and I got this one, Tidewe, victory. So you will achieve what you want, is what I'm getting at this. You will be satisfied as long as you stick to your guns. Make sure you guide your decisions with wisdom, and be the type of wise person that doesn't speak a whole lot but learns from observation.
Standing Stones is asked, Angela, how many rooms are in a set?
Well, it's 20. Well, it's 3 times 9. So
27.
It's 1827.
Interesting.
Because each there's 3 ets. Rooms are divided into ets, and then there's 9 in each set. And this is because the culture that came up with the runes, the number 3 is extremely important, and any numbers divisible by 3 became extremely important. So that's why 3 ets. And there's one, and it's the story of the creation. The first et is basically the primal nature of creation, and the first creation, where the Bifrost, where they believed there was a Bifrost, and there was a cow named I think her name was Andhumla, who licked this frost and made it loose, and there was this creation that sprung up from that. And then this second et represents the struggle of the humans coming to being, and there is that struggle to humans to establish themselves in that creation. And then the last et is human ascension to the spirit realm, advancement, civilization, and so forth.
Gene Hudson asks, Angela, do you pick your runes by their feel when you pick them up, or do they call for you to pick them up and take them home?
They call for me. A long time ago, the runes came to me in my dream, and they were alive, and I could see them all lined up on the beach, and the runes said, and they each had a voice, and the runes' voices said in unison, "We have chosen you." So they chose me.
Gary Spikes says he'll take a reading, please.
Sure. Okay. First rune I get for you, Gary. So this one is Nadis. So Nadis, this rune is actually a picture of 2 sticks being rubbed together to start a fire in an emergency situation, and it's the bare necessities. In runic poetry, it says it's a tight band around the chest, and nobody knows what that means yet. The archaeologists are working on it, trying to figure that out, what that could possibly mean. But what I'm getting from this and Nadis, it feels like to me, well, that you feel like there is that focus. I feel like you're very focused on just the bare necessities, on the basics. Let me focus on the basics first. And nadis can also bring in love energy too. So if you focus on nadis, it can also help with attracting love. If you want to go beyond that necessities, but the goal is to get beyond that focus on necessities. Once you've got that established, and you can build on other things. Is that your foundation? So the next rune, this is Rytho. The Anglo-Saxon word for this is rad, and this represents a wheel. And if you look at German, rad in German means wheel. It's directly from this rune. And what I'm getting here, and this is also the solar wheel. So this is a representation of Odin's chariot wheels going across the sky. I'm getting an impression of this. Usually this rune represents honor, like personal honor, a journey with honor. Like you're carrying out a duty. But what I'm getting on this is that you feel like you want to be on a bigger journey. You want a journey that is more meaningful for you. that's more satisfying, something that makes you feel good, and that you're struggling to get there because you're so focused on the necessities, and it feels like that's an obstacle. Let's get the last rune. But the last rune I have is Manas. So Manas is intellect, wisdom, the Bifrost bridge from our world to their world. And it can be ascension, things of that nature. What I'm getting is that you're trying to transcend, but you cannot do it alone. You're trying to transcend that this state of necessity, bare basics, the struggle. But I'm being told by this rune, you can't do it alone. You have to reach out to higher power for help in this, and ask for angels to come in and help you and guide you.
Interesting. Last person, Mike Eagle Wolf.
Hi, Mike. Cool last name.
Right.
That's awesome. Two very incredible, strong predators in nature. All right. First rune I'm getting is Manas again. Manas being mankind. Also the Bifrost Bridge. Enlightenment. And what I'm getting from you is, it feels like that you've already crossed something. It feels like you've already came to a decision and that you've already made it. So this is something that's recently that you were wondering about you were going to do, and then you decide, I'm going to go for it, and you did it. I felt like you crossed that bridge, and now you're past the point, and now you're like, what do I do now? Where do I go now? Now, next rune I get is Helvenas. So this is the rune, the Hellstone. This can also be transformation, protection, and some shamanic journeying as well. I'm getting impression of this. I'm feeling disruption. I feel like there's something going on in life that feels disruptive. Right now, I feel like there's a headache right here. So I don't know if you're experiencing headaches or something like that, or some sort of disruption or health issue, but I feel disruption. And it feels health related. Okay. You see a lot of spirits? Okay.
Yes, lots.
All right. Yeah. So I feel it here. Is your third eye feel like it hurts up here? You see so many spirits? Okay. Maybe that's it. Because I know if I see a lot of spirits and I get a lot of spirit activity, I get strain up here and it actually hurts. Okay.
He says yes.
Yeah, hurts. Okay. I'm kind of feeling that. So I'm getting Thorisos, which is the rune of thorns, but it's also boundaries. I'm getting the sense this is rune time that you need to set boundaries at this point and exercise caution. So you might want to actually slow down and go inward and say, look, spirits, I need my boundaries right now. I need to recharge. Please, for this time, let me be so I can recharge my energy right now. And to recharge this, you would have to make sure to draw on, I would draw on earth energies first. I would bring up energy from the earth, and it's usually that that violet energy, so it's kind of purple. I would focus purples and blue and imagine that coming up from the center of the earth. And after you've done that, bring light from above in blue and ask it to go in here and heal. And I would also bring around you the purple, it's actually purple energy, purple rays, and that will break up patterns and karma and things, and just makes you feel better because when it breaks up that karma and old patterns, any pattern that's stressing you out, that's repeating itself, that breaks that out of there and takes it out of there, and you just feel so much better.
Interesting. Well, it's been fantastic tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget, tomorrow night, Ed and Lorraine Warren's grandson, Chris McKinnell, the director of the Warren Legacy Foundation, has confirmed his show tomorrow night. So he will be back. So tomorrow night, it is confirmed at 7 o'clock Eastern time. He will be on the show. So I just want to let everybody know, because we did put the advertisements out tonight. So that'll be a fantastic show. Make sure and have your questions ready. It'll be very interesting to have him on the show. Try to get him on last year, but his schedule did not let him to actually get on. So everybody says standing ovation, rounds of applause for Angela. Yes, very wonderful. And I want to thank Angela again, and everybody. I want y'all to have a great night, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you, Angela. And from coast to coast, around the world, good night, everybody. See you soon.
Night.
Bye-bye.